So last year we reviewed the Nixeus EDG27 and found it to be a stellar 1080p FreeSync monitor with a massive 30 to 144 Hz FreeSync range. Pair something like that with an RX 480 and you're in for a real gaming treat. However, fast forward to today and you'll find a much more powerful RX Vega lineup available. Well, sort of. But finally we have the GPU power to really push these higher pixel count FreeSync panels, and that's what we're looking at today. Introducing the Nixeus EDG27, a true upgrade over the EDG24 in every way possible. We're looking at a 27-inch WQHD panel, meaning that we've got a load of pixels at 2560 by 1440, and it still brings the marvelous 30 to 144 Hz uncompromising FreeSync range with it. Sporting an AHVA-based IPS panel with a low 4 millisecond gray-to-gray response time, and now while that may be a bit tad behind the specs of the 1 millisecond of the EDG24 sported, it, however, was a TN panel. This is an IPS panel with a true 8-bit color, carrying a wide viewing angle of 178 by 178, which is pretty standard for IPS. Now, connectivity on this panel is pretty expansive, featuring DisplayPort 1.2a, HDMI 2.0, allowing for 144 Hz over HDMI, however not FreeSync, keep that in mind, HDMI 1.4 and a dual-link DVI as well as audio in and out for the built-in speakers. Accessories for the monitor include the power brick, DisplayPort cable, and an audio cable. Just what you need, and really nothing that you don't, except for maybe that audio cable, but that's going to be up to you. Now let's talk about the monitor itself, from the design to the stand. Now if you want to see the package and unboxing, feel free to hit the card in the upper right hand of the screen now. We'll have that up there for you guys where we did the full unboxing and first look. Now the design of this monitor is a strange mix of edgy gamer meets sophisticated office environment, which is thankfully void of flashy colors, however. It's much welcomed in my opinion, but the bezel is a bit thicker than most monitors, making something like a multi-monitor solution seem a bit undesirable, but makes the monitor feel quite rigid and substantial. VESA mounts are present on the back, and that's where you'll find the fully adjustable stand mounts to the monitor for this particular model. There is a model where you have a simple tilt stand, however, save you a few dollars, and we'll talk about that later. The base is wide and solid without taking too much depth in your desk. It is quite angular. I guess that's to ensure that you know that this is a gamer's product. Branding and labeling is tastefully done and makes it easy to find the OSD controls by being printed in white on simple lettering along the bottom of the bezel. The OSD offers all the options that you would expect from a panel like this, and even showing the refresh rate, which is quite refreshing. Navigating, however, is a bit less intuitive than we would have liked. Using the volume up and down to navigate in opposite directions of the buttons is a bit wonky to say the least, but the up and down is clearly labeled and easy enough to follow. Now we don't have a way to properly test color accuracy, but subjectively speaking, the colors are vibrant and full without ever appearing washed out. The whites are bright and the blacks are dark, making the overall experience immersive without ever becoming distracting. Backlight bleed is slightly noticeable in solid black screens, and the expected IPS glow is there as well, but not enough of either to ever become a hindrance. Utilizing the low setting for overdrive, we see the least amount of ghosting and blur, but they are still noticeable, especially when coming from something like faster pixel switching panel like the EDG24, but that's one of the advantages of TN over IPS. But what about gaming? I mean, that's why you buy a 144Hz 1440p FreeSync gaming monitor for, right? Well, we started out with using an RX 480 8GB because that card was touted as being 1440p capable, and if any card could push the usefulness of something like FreeSync, it'd be that one, right? Well, turns out it was a good place to start, as we found most games sitting in the upper 40s to 60s range as far as frames per second, and found it to be a perfectly playable, and the adaptive refresh was very welcome, giving up a really smooth and enjoyable gaming experience. But we wanted to see what it was really like pushing this monitor, and that's when AMD stepped in with our RX Vega 64 sample. Much kudos there, but don't worry, that review is well on its way, still be up next. Well, maybe not next, but you get the point, it's coming. Needless to say, this additional horsepower paired with this monitor made for one of the absolute best gaming experiences I've ever had. Being able to always stay in the upper middle to high end of the FreeSync range meant the frames came fast, consistent, and fluid. Even games like PlayerUnknown Battleground played nicely. That game's not exactly a smooth one. I'll be the first to admit that one of the reasons we took so long to get this review out was simply the fact that all I really wanted to do was play games on it. I really wasn't worried about much else, because once I started, it was great. But Keith, I don't have a Radeon card, so what does this monitor have to offer me if I'm a GeForce gamer? Well, even if you take away the Freesync function, you've still got an amazing gaming monitor. It's still great. I mean, just for example, I've been using this on my workstation with the GTX 980 Ti, and I have zero complaints about it. Well, I'll save that one for you if you want to figure out what my one little complaint may be. But at the end of the long day, the Nixeus EDG27 at $499 walks away easily with our Enthusiast Product Award. But for those a bit more budget conscious, the EDG27S with the non-adjustable stand can be had for under $450, and at the time of this video is only $420 at Amazon. And that one strolls off with our Best Bang for Buck award. So thank you for tuning in and sticking through our review of the Nixeus EDG27 gaming monitor. This has been Keith with WCCF Tech TV. If you found this video entertaining or informative in the least, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions about the product in question, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. As always, this has been Keith, and we'll catch you in the next video.